hear me out, bro. The dream life that you desire is not the actual thing that you want. What you really want is to become the person that's capable of creating that type of reality. So let's talk about how you need to shift your focus from the goal, from the outcome, to understanding how it's a byproduct of becoming that type of person who eventually can make this happen. So in the world we live in today, everybody wants to get the big house, the big cars, the money, all this stuff, material stuff, also the big muscles, all that stuff. And I'm not saying it's wrong. If you want to get that stuff, go and get it. But think deeper down, is that actually what you want, or is it what society's telling you? Go check out my video about why the 99% of men will fail in life to get more of that perspective, because I talked about it all in there. But today we're gonna go over how on that road, on that path to be creating your own version of success, it isn't the journey of just getting to the end point. It's the journey throughout it of becoming and evolving into the person that you've always wanted to be. Because if you think about it, if you yourself right now, the person you are right now, watching this video, even me right now creating this video, if I got all the things that I want, all the things I desire, I still wouldn't be fulfilled, because it would have just been given to me. At least in my perspective, and I hope that's for you. You don't want things to be handed out to you. You want it to be, you want to earn it. You don't want to just have it be just given to you, like just a gift from the sky. So if you had all the things that you wanted right now and you still wouldn't be fulfilled, what is the common denominator? It's you. You want to become the type of person that deserves these things, that earns these things, that did all the groundwork, all the extracurricular activities needed to get to the point that you desire. So when you start to understand that, you're going to start to understand that checkpoints along the way are great. Like if you get this amount of money, this amount of subscribers, this amount of pounds on your bench press, whatever it is, whatever the goal is you're trying to pursue, you got a certain, go over there, chewing on wood right next to me, man. Calm down. I should be running around like crazy. Hey, I'm trying to focus. But what I was saying is, those checkpoints along the way, they allow you to, oh my gosh, they allow you to get a gauge of the analytical side of things. Like, okay, I'm doing this. It's helping me get this, and this. But if you take a step back from it on a more intuitive feeling, am I becoming the person that's eventually going to be able to not only create but sustain the life that I want? That's the real indicators of success. And how do you check that? How do you measure that? You don't measure it like math equation. What you do is compare and contrast with your previous self, because at the end of the day, there is a competition within this world, but the main competition that you got to focus on is you versus you, your past self versus your present self, and then that future self of what you're striving towards. Those are the three archetypes that you got to be comparing, contrasting, not in a negative way of like, oh, my past self did this, now I'm this, or fuck that guy. No, that person that you were in the past eventually led you down to the person that you are in the present, and will lead you down over to the person that you will become in the future. Learn from the past, act in the present, and plan for the future. Those are the three things that you need to do in order to actually create the life that you want, to create the persona, the archetype, the personality, all the accolades and attributes, characteristics and qualities that will help you build the blocks, build the foundation, and build up that building of your castle that you're trying to create, of the temple that you're trying to create. So again, that is the way you measure it. You measure it against your past self, and you measure it up to the future self that you want to be, you in the present moment. And again, there's only one eternal moment. The past is gone, the future isn't here. There's only here and now. But when you really try to gauge these type of variables, you got to use that part of your mind to be able to compare and contrast. And humans, as a species, have been doing that for years. They're good at comparing. They're good at mimicking. They're good at contrasting with different ideas. So you already got that within you, but use it to your advantage. Don't use it, oh, this guy did that, that guy's doing this, I'm a loser. You don't want to be like that. You want to be able to compare and contrast yourself versus your past, like I said, and the future that you want to become. Because that's the only person that you're really in a competition with. Yes, if you play sports, there is a competition. Yes, if you're in commerce, there is a competition. But at the end of the day, the only person that you can really control your competition is against yourself. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? When you pack it all up and you're 6 feet under, you're going to be only with yourself. You're not going to be comparing yourself or competing with yourself in the grave. I mean, with other people in the grave. It's just, what did I do in my life that is going to leave me with a sense of fulfillment over onto the afterlife? That's what it really boils down to. But coming back to what I was saying, that person that you want to become in the future, you gotta learn from the past the most. Your past is indications and lessons for the future. And if you fail in the past, you fail in the present, and eventually it's going to become the past, you got to be able to take those lessons as a way to carve your own individual personality and own individual archetype that fits that mold of what you want to become. That makes sense. So let me give you an example. If the type of person you want to be, which most men, I would say, big, strong, responsible, providing, grounded, spiritual. If you want to become that type of person, if you want to become your best version, which is that type of character, if you want to say, that could build out the life that you actually want, then you have to actually think about you have to get in that type of mindset if this is picking up what I'm putting down. So if something goes wrong in your life, but you're in this present moment and you can choose, are you going to act in the way that you were in the past that's going to keep you in that same position? It's not going to be anything different. Like the saying goes, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're getting the same results, but you're expecting something different. That is insanity. Are you going to use that, go to your past self, and use those types of methods to deal with the situation that you're in, that you know is going to get you that result? Or are you going to expand your mindset, expand it, kind of like jump timelines, go into the future of that person that you want to be, and think about how he would deal with it? Because that method, that way he would deal with it, your future self, is going to produce the results and actions that is going to lay down all the stepping stones to your desired destination, your perfect life. Even though nothing in life will ever be perfect, that's a bar. Perfect life, nothing in life will be perfect. It will bring you to that. It will bring you more clarity of how that person thinks. And this takes practice. This takes humility. It takes mindfulness. It takes self-awareness. It takes imagination, probably the most important, to be able to think, how would this future version of me, the most ideal version of me that I think of right now in the present moment, how would he deal with this situation? Not, okay, I'm going to go off my impulses, what I've ever done in the past. I'm just going to go autopilot mode and just boom, 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 do the things that just naturally come to me. Or am I going to take a step back, think about it for a second, think about how would that version of me go about this situation, and then act upon with that type of mindset, with that type of knowledge, information. So that is probably one of the most powerful practices you can do when you're in situations that you gotta really focus. You gotta really tap in. You really gotta lock in on how you go about it. Maybe it's a stressful situation. Maybe it's a very just very profound situation that can really switch up the path of your life, can switch up the direction of where you're going. You gotta be able to really hit the pause button on everything in life. This is where meditation comes key. Go check out my latest video on this channel, why meditation doesn't work for you if you're having struggles with tapping into that meditative state, tapping into your meditative practices. But nevertheless, that's why it's so important to have some type of meditation practice, so you can actually hit the pause button, sit back, visualize, not with your two eyes, but with the one that allows you to see, because these ones are to look. There's only one eye to see into the future, see into the ideal version of yourself, and kind of play out the situation in your head. How would this person go about it? Imagine it in full detail. And what's the most important part of that? The most important part of that is, how does he feel? How does that version of you, that future version of you, that ideal version of you feel during that moment? The emotion. Because emotions are far more impactful on the human psyche, on just life in general, than just words, numbers, letters, this and that. Like, it's just far more, like, it hits. Like, you can think to a moment that you can have a really strong emotional feeling, and you always remember that memory in pure, like, autistic detail. Like, just, you know, every single detail, like how things smelled, what was the color of the shirt you were wearing, or what was the sounds you were hearing. Like, you just know, because it was such a profound emotional experience. It could have been traumatic, or it could have been so blissful and euphoric, but nevertheless, you're still going to remember that. So try to put yourself not only in the mindset, but in the body, or even in the soul of that future version of yourself, and feel that situation from that point of view. Then you're going to carry that feeling, because that emotional side of your brain doesn't know what is reality and what is your dream states or your meditation states. It just keeps that emotion with it. So that's why if you look back at some of these emotions, traumatic or euphoric, you get that feeling. Keep that feeling in those visualizations and go about that situation with that energy. That is pure alchemy right there. That is, you're really twisting up, you're really cooking up some of that good stuff. That's when you're really tapping into higher levels of how the human organism and the human psyche and the human soul work in conjunction. So again, if you really are able to do these type of things, and it's not going to come overnight, it's not going to come in a week, it's not going to come in a month, it's just going to come over time. And if you need to come back to this video and understand some of the topics, it's kind of going over your head right now, by all means, save it down below, do whatever you need to do. But if you take some of these practices and actually understand, the first thing is understanding how the dream life, the dream situation that you want to be in, the dream just overall state that you want to live in, is a byproduct of that future ideal version of yourself. You're going to understand, you're going to come to the realization that that is what you need to be focusing on. Becoming that person that can do these things. Because like I said, if we just give you all that stuff right now, you're probably either going to lose it, you're not going to feel fulfilled, and you're probably just going to dick off and just go back to the same lifestyle, even if we gave all that stuff to you that you're living in right now, that you eventually want to elevate from. Because you're not that person that deserves it. You're not that person that's cultivated it. Because once you become that person, not only can you cultivate it, if we can take it all away from you. You know the steps, you know the details, you have all the characteristics and attributes to build it back up again. But more importantly, you can sustain it, because it is a byproduct of you. It isn't just something thrown on the floor and you just picked it up and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna run with it. It's eventually gonna fall out of your hands. No, you built it from your hands. You built it from your mind. You built it from your soul. You've manifested it all. You've materialized it all. So you know all the intricate details of it and how to keep it. This can be a good analogy is when people win the lottery. A lot of broke people win the lottery, they go back broke again. Why? Because they didn't become the person that's actually able to produce that amount of wealth. So they don't even know how to sustain that amount of wealth. Come on, man. Come on. So when you're going about thinking about your dreams, thinking about all these things you want to accomplish, think harder about the person that can do those things, but the person that you want to become, that you know can handle these things, that can just completely take any situation thrown at your way and make it into a positive. That is the end goal. That's not the end goal. There is no end goal. But that is your goal. That is the real destination. You don't really want to go to fucking Houston, Texas. You want to go and experience the culture of it. You want to become immersed in the culture of it. Even though I don't know if fucking Houston, Texas has a culture like that. I don't know why that keeps coming up in my mind. Houston, Texas. But you want to be immersed in that culture. And you want to be immersed in that state of being that person that's creating that life around that. That's creating that type of just overall experience of life that you want, that you've always wanted, that you think that you deserve, but you have to put in the work to get in. That is the real desire that you need to come forth and actually experience out in the world, or it's always going to be burning within you. And like I said, if you give it all to you, it's still going to be burning within you because you're not that person. So if you picking up what I'm putting down, man, get out in the field like I'm doing right now and get busy, because it's been your boy out here, What the Fulati, like I said, in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. And I'm out of here. Peace.